have an age difference. We have life differences.
This is how you should live your life.
I got the faith, because to get the faith,
Got it. Well, let's jump into this.
this is the Old School, New School podcast.
4, 3, 2, 1.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Old School, New School podcast. I am Will Charles Egan, and as always,
Chris Mickens.
we have had interesting weeks. It's funny. I came in here. He goes, why did you have a good week? And I had a bad week. Usually it's the other way around. I'm like, we don't always align on how our weeks went.
Well,
you know?
yeah. Bad week.
Bad week for you.
But that's okay.
But
that's okay. I think it's been a good day so far.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. We got I think you go through life, just because you're a Christian doesn't mean you're not going to have it rough sometimes.
Yes.
And so, we've got a lot going on. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you think, is this self-induced? Right?
Right. And can I self-medicate?
Yeah. Well,
probably not either.
That's probably not the right answer for me.
Yeah, buying a new mattress won't solve your problem.
Yeah, I haven't been sleeping all week, so I bought a new mattress, and I'm like, that's a lot of money.
Well, that's good for you to be in a position to just do that. I can't do that anymore. Well, I don't think I've ever been able to do that. But
there was a day that I couldn't do that either. So
yes, of course.
But when you start not sleeping, you go, I don't care.
I'll do anything.
Money.
Yes.
And plus, I get points from Costco.
Wow.
See.
Wow.
Which brings us to our episode.
Yes, somehow
transition to the message today was James 3.
Mm-hmm.
And warning signs, watch your mouth and walk in wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the theme that we're going to go through here.
Yeah, we've been talking about this a lot past couple of weeks, is the power of the tongue, power of what you say, how you think, how you behave. When we had Michael Muccio on a couple of weeks ago, it was the power of the thought life, the prayer life.
The words going into the universe that have power.
Literal, observable power. And so here we are harping.
Here we are.
Yeah.
James 3.
Yeah. Power of prayer, power of words, the power of things. Have you ever done something, either said something or done something that you just immediately regretted?
A lot of times with when you're married, you'll say something, you're like, I shouldn't say it. And then you say it and you're like, man, that was bad.
Yep.
I should have never done that. And then you'll hear about it like 16 years later. You're like, well, you said this. And I'm like, that was 16 years ago.
Yep.
A lot of times I'll say something to, like when before I overcame my codependency and all that other stuff.
Yep.
Because you think that you have this power and this control, and so
right.
you'll say things, and you're like, that just made it worse.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, for me, I don't often get angry at people. I do a few times, but a lot of the times I'll just remove myself and then yell at them in my head, right? Or go, my biggest vice is breaking furniture. I'll go and punch things a lot. And it's never enough to just punch the bed because there's no repercussion. I have to do something that's dangerous. And so I'll hit something that I shouldn't and then immediately regret it. Holes in the drywall, in the furniture, in the closet door, and the whatever it is. It's just, and then I'll immediately, how do I try and fix this? How can I get out of this? What do I need to lie about to do this? And I'm like, I just need
But that's no more.
Right.
That was when you were growing up.
Right. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. Ever.
I think that what ends up happening for me is that when you feel, in my case, when you feel out of control and there is nothing, you go to your default, or you go to your old sin, and then you start accusing people,
right?
Or you say things thinking you've got control.
Right.
We're going through this thing with my father-in-law. In fact, I'm having a rough day today just because we were over at the nursing home. He's going into dementia. It's getting worse. He got up, tried to walk, fell again. Mm-hmm. So then at all the last 2 months of struggle trying to get him to walk again, start over.
All the way back to square one.
And then my wife's like, we need to do that, and I'm got a different opinion, and so you say things that you really don't mean. Maybe like, well, you're being too controlling, or that, at that point, fortunately for me today, you're like, no, you just need to keep your mouth shut. Just, this is her dad.
Yeah.
You're here to support her, and you're here to walk her through that.
Yep.
And in the meantime, you're like, but I think I got the answers.
Right.
And so are you giving words of life, or you just trying to win an argument?
Yeah.
Because there's no winning here.
Right. It's a stalemate at best.
Yeah.
In an argument.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: when you were talking about, going back to square one, do you feel like in your own mind when you have a slip up or a personal struggle where you lash out, or maybe you fumble or fall in any sort of way, do you feel like you find yourself back at square one from guilting yourself into that, or is it?
Well, I think what happens is the devil tells you need to say that,
right?
Otherwise, you're going to be a big wuss. Okay. And so then you lash out, and then immediately, he then goes the opposite side. See, what kind of Christian are you?
Right.
You're a bad Christian. You kind of suck at this.
He plays both sides.
Maybe you should just go ahead and give up.
Yeah.
I mean, I've actually been thinking about drinking this last week. That's
really?
How stressed out my life is, and I'm like, that's the stupidest thing,
right,
that you could ever even think of.
Wow.
But that's what the devil does.
Yes.
He goes back and he starts, hitting you on these things. Did I answer the question?
Yes. No, absolutely. Well, because for me, I am that to an extreme. Whenever I feel, and that's something that I work through with like counselors and stuff, is anytime I feel any sort of iniquity, that I failed my own personal goals, or I upset somebody, that I'm back at square one, that I've completely failed, and that it's all over. Yeah. And that I need to work my way up to having like at least 7 days in a row of zero problems, because God forbid I should have 1 hour of stress during one day, because then I feel I put myself back at square one, even though, and part of it is reframing the mind, is just because you've had one hiccup or whatever,
right,
that means progress. And I'm like, what do you mean? But I had a terrible hour of my day. Well, it's like, when was the last time you had a terrible hour? Well, that was 3 days ago.
Yeah, or go to a meeting and meet somebody that's just getting clean, or just getting, and you're like,
and you can look where you used to
be. I
be.
got some big problems. I had to replace my 5-year-old mattress.
Right. Yeah. Oh, God forbid. But you see the instances become fewer and far between, and they might still be of intense severity, but you find yourself sometimes progress looks like, it's not that the intensity of the pain is reduced, but that the length of instances, the space between instances grows greater and greater, until it's like a back pain. One day you're like, oh yeah, I haven't felt this back pain in like 3 days. Whatever happened to that? It just left your mind. Poop. It's gone. Yeah. Poof. Yeah.
Kind of going forward, the power of the tongue. So we were talking about that, and James 3:1-12. What does it say? That's our scripture verse.
Well, I can pull it up here in the actual Bible.
Actual Bible.
Yes. James 3. Oh, this has got like a greatest archaeological discoveries at the end of this. What is this Bible? Is this the one with like
a well-worn Bible?
It's old is what it is.
That's the New American Standard.
Right. But is this one of those that's got like on the side, there's all those extra...
No, they call it a study Bible.
Okay, so this is not a study Bible. All right, where is it?
Do you know where James is at?
Yes, it's just one of those, it's like 2 or 3
pages.
Small.
It's so small that if you
go right past it every single time. You go fly past it, fly forward. There it is. James 3.
We're so prepared for this podcast.
For sure. What were the verses? 13-18, or are we reading 1-12?
1-12.
Okay. James 3, 1-12. Let not many of you become teachers, my brethren. Oh boy, this is going to be a fun translation. knowing that as such we shall incur a stricter judgment, for we all stumble in many ways. If anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, able to bridle the whole body as well. Now, if we put the bits into the horses' mouths so that they may obey us, we direct their entire body as well. Stop here.
Okay.
You know what a bit in a horse is?
Yes.
It's the thing you put in the horse's mouth. It's this tiny piece of wood or whatever. It attaches the ropes. It's this tiny little thing that goes in the mouth of the creature that can steer the entire body of the horse, which is an excellent analogy on James's part here. We'll see why. Behold, the ships also, though they are so great and driven by strong winds, are still directed by a very small rudder, wherever the inclination of the pilot desires. So also, the tongue is a small part of the body, and yet it boasts of great things. Behold, how great a forest is set aflame by such a small fire. And the tongue is a fire, the very world of iniquity. The tongue is set among our members as that which defiles the entire body, and sets on fire the course of our life, and is set on fire by hell. So watch what you say. For every species of beasts and birds, of reptiles and creatures of the sea is tamed and has been tamed by the human race. But no one can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil and full of deadly poison. With it we bless our Lord and Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come both blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not to be this way. Does a fountain send out from the same opening both fresh and bitter water? Can a fig tree, my brethren, produce olives, or a vine produce figs? Neither can salt water produce fresh. So, all that to say,
That's a lot of words.
That is a lot of words. Now, I want to kind of do an exercise here.
Oh, Doug.
See, look at you and your words. You're already improving. And I'm sure you have many examples of this. What's the one example you can think of where you used your tongue in a that you mismanaged the use of your tongue in your words? Can you think of at least one instance? I'm sure you can.
Today?
Whenever.
There's been a couple that, again, when I was dealing with being a codependent and all that, it's everything's personal.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's personal. And again, I always say that, I barely got out of high school. And so you're dealing with, but I can cut someone down with my tongue in no time. But I would say all that is there was one time with one of my children that I said something.
Uh-oh.
I'm not even going to say it because it was, and the other kids heard it, and the boys wanted to beat me up.
Right.
Because it was mean. It was to my daughter, Danielle. And it was mean. And I didn't mean it that way, but I was aggravated because there was nothing we could do. And so I just was lashing out. And there's, to this day, I mean, that's probably when she was like 12, and she's 38.
And she's still?
I still remember. She's forgiven me.
Okay, that's good.
But it was just this one word,
Wow.
and it was like horrible.
Jeez.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Lord have mercy on you.
Yeah. Well, he does.
He does. Yeah, he certainly does.
We have a great relationship now, so
That's good. Yeah, I mean, you got pictures of her up on the wall.
Yeah.
Good for you.
yeah. What about you?
I love this verse here. It's chapter 3, verse 5. So also the tongue is a small part of the body, and yet it boasts of great things. Behold, how great a forest is set aflame by such a small fire. And the tongue is a fire, the very world of iniquity. The tongue is set among our members as that which defiles the entire body and sets on fire the course of our lives and is set on fire by hell. Holy cow. It says the tongue is a fire. And I think the tongue can be either the fire of hell or it can be the fire of the Holy Spirit. The other night, my friends and I, we went to one of our friend's house, and he has a younger brother that's having some like full-blown spiritual attacks, like actual, like he's having
It's like
seizures.
something's going on here.
Yeah, like he's having seizures, epilepsy. He sees like demons. They all see things. I mean, they've got like, lights are flickering, stuff flying off the walls, crazy stuff. And so we went to this house, and it was like 2 a.m. It was such a spur of the moment thing. We were like, we're going to go pray over this house. And we're like, are we sure we're like ready for this? Because we're expecting like Ghostbusters level, we're going to show up and we're going to see like the books flying off the bookshelves and whatnot. But I mean, we show up and we were like waiting, expecting something crazy to happen. And I mean, nothing did, which was, because I probably would have freaked out and ran all the way down the street. But when we were there, we were praying over the home and over our friend's younger brother specifically. And I remember in my prayer just feeling this righteous anger, this fury and this hatred for the enemy and what he's done for this family. I mean, they're walking in their faith. Some of them are earlier on than others, but I see just this situation that truly pisses me off. And so I had this in the middle of our prayer. I had this moment of like this anger and this fury that boiled up where I started like rebuking the enemy. And I even I spat on the ground and I said, "We mock you, you deceiver. The Lord rebuke you," and all this stuff. And that was, an anger within me that was channeled towards a good thing.
Right.
Because you can be people think anger is a sin. Jesus got angry. No. He got angry for the righteous reasons.
Anger is a natural emotion. It's what you do with it.
It's what you do with it. Yeah. Right. You can lash out at your family or you can use it to rebuke an evil spirit.
Yeah. I'm angry that you didn't do your job.
Right.
But you don't have to be,
wrathful at them for an unjust reason. So those analogies, not to say that you're bad and I'm good, but I'm sure I could give you plenty of examples.
That's not true. But.
Right. Yes. I could give you plenty of examples where I use my tongue for evil as well, but the tongue can be used. I mean, and the wrath that comes from the tongue can be a thing of productivity or a thing of destruction.
Yeah.
All that to say.
And people that you're talking to them and you're like, I'm not going to talk to that guy because he's going to complain about something.
Yeah.
You just know it.
Yeah.
I can guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you go and you have to talk to him. And I'll say to Joyce, let's see how long he can go without, complaining or pointing something out.
Yes.
And then you talk to other people and you're like, I feel the best I've ever felt about my life. Having a conversation with you.
Being with this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. You love those. So there's those two things. I don't know if this is too early, but it came to my mind in this. Mm-hmm. And when we were younger, we fought a lot, Joyce and I.
Oh, okay.
There was a lot of fighting going on because you had these teenagers,
right.
and you don't know how to do it.
Yes.
And I would attack her. So when I'm stressed out, I would attack you attack the people you love with words that are whatever.
Yep.
And then you go back and said, "Well, I said I was sorry. I'm really saying I'm sorry."
So I didn't mean it.
And she would say, "Well, and I get it. I accept your apology, but you're over here chopping me up piece by piece." And you're saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I still don't have any arms because you chopped them all off. So I'm standing here and you want me to hug you, but I don't have any arms because you chopped them off."
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Oh, shoot. You got me
That's a pretty good example of what the tongue can do.
Uh-huh.
And so, there's places where you think that you can bash out the ones you love the most and then save everybody else, and it's not true. Mm-mm. So they wanted us to highlight control. It directs our life like a rudder. Yep. Control our tongue, and it controls your life. Mm-hmm. He talked about it today in the message. You can either be a person of words of life, or you can be a person of words of death. Mm. And nobody wants to be around a person with words of death.
No. I mean, you feel the general.
Sometimes it's funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. Comedians, that's like their job.
Sarcasm.
Self-deprecating humor, sarcasm. Yeah. That's what they get paid to do.
Right. And then also it can be corrupt, like a spark that burns a forest. Mm-hmm. So all you got to do is say, I'm not saying anything about Will, but I did see him drive. Some guy told me this about Pastor Randy. He said, I'm not saying this, but I saw him driving up to the bank in a Lamborghini, and I have a real hard time with the pastor making that kind of money. And I'm like, first of all, I can guarantee you, I don't know what kind of car he drives, but I'm pretty sure I can guarantee you, I would bet you all the money I have in the bank that he's not driving around in a Lamborghini.
No. Randy's probably got like a truck, an F-150 or something.
Yeah, and it's probably an old one.
It's probably an old one
because he's generous with his money. He's generous with his kids. And churches don't pay that good.
No, yeah.
So, but anyway, I could come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm not saying that I did, but I know a guy who saw," and it's like starting a fire.
Yes.
Especially when you say to the guy that, because you're going to tell him because you're going to stir the pot.
Yeah.
And then he's going to, that old game play telephone. You say something to one person, and by the time it gets all the way to the other side of the circle.
Yes.
And so it can corrupt.
Yeah.
It can corrupt people, and then finally, it's either compromise or combat. With it, we either bless or we curse.
Mm-hmm. It's funny you were talking about Randy and the money that he makes and how you would kind of end. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's something about when you immediately approach like opening a topic of conversation, like, hey, I'm not saying.
Don't tell anybody this.
Don't tell anybody.
I'm only going to tell you.
Right. The moment you start to do that, you open the door to gossip and to, belittling people, to putting yourself above other people. Because when you start dealing with like half truths and secrecy, you're inviting in a spirit of like deception, belittlement, and casting other people down.
And you don't know. I mean, I love stirring the pot.
I know you do.
I love stirring the pot. My kids, my daughter still, she's known me her whole life. And she's like, I'll say something just to like mess with her. And she'll go, oh my God. My wife will go, Danielle, have you not learned anything ever from
your father?
From your father. Anyway, the verse that was death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Mm-hmm. That's Proverbs 18:21.
And then what comes out of the mouth, out of the mouth comes from the heart.
Mm.
One of the verses I've memorized over the years is the good man brings forth good out of the good stored up his heart. And the evil man brings forth evil out of the evil stored up his heart.
Yeah.
Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks.
One of my favorite verses, and it's actually, it's funny how they did this. It was at Fully Alive, this retreat that I did. They took two different translations and kind of melded it. But it's, above all else, guard your heart, for out of the heart flows the wellspring of life. That's two translations from a proverb, and it's interesting because it's, okay, break it down. Above all else, guard your heart. So why? For out of the heart flows the wellspring of life. So what does that mean? So things are going into your heart. You ever heard someone, like you say something, or you hear somebody say something, it's like, oh, that cut straight to my heart. You cut past through all the barriers, all of the spiritual, mental fortitude that I have, and that went straight into my heart. And out of the heart flows, the other translation is the issues of life, or the wellspring of life. Which one would you rather have, the issues or the wellspring, right? Mm-hmm. So what are you putting in your heart, right? What are you letting in there? In the, I was listening to a sermon this morning from Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell of 2819 Church, fantastic communicator, and he was talking about, specifically with like witchcraft and manifesting and having crystals and all the, the woo-woo stuff, that the new age things that people do. And he was like, he was saying all these things about like, just because you have, all your little crystals next to your Bible, or you're burning your little sage, or you're doing your little thing, and people started like standing up and like yelling at him. And he goes, I don't care. I do not. I will preach this truth. If half of this church leaves and doesn't come back next week, I'll preach to an empty room. I do not care. And he is very militant and vigilant about what you're letting in. Yeah. And like I was talking about earlier with my friend's family that are having this spiritual warfare, they have things in their home, idols, jewelry even, where there's a spiritual attachment to it. And obviously you can get physical with it. Like my friend, he was saying, he was praying to God, like, evil spirits, reveal yourself. And there's this one light that always goes crazy whenever they're having like a spiritual attack. And there's this light. He's going, where is this spirit? And he's looking at this ring that he got from one of his family heirlooms. It's like a Native American Apache ring. And he's like, are you in here? And the light starts going crazy. And he just chucked it in the garbage. He got rid of it. So that's like physically guarding your heart from like, idols, like you're saying, keeping crystals by your Bible and burning sage, or the words that you're listening to in the music that you're, putting into yourself, the movies you're watching, all the things that you're taking in. I mean, like there's a verse that Jesus is speaking where it's like the eye is the lamp of the body. Whatever you're taking in, how great, if your eye is seeing dark things, how great is that darkness within you?
So what you put in comes out.
Comes right back out.
Comes out.
Either the issues or the wellspring. Which do you want?
And do they come out of your mouth?
Mm-hmm.
I think that, like I said before, I think that sometimes men maybe women, if I don't say anything, I sound weak. The truth is, who I should be saying it to is God, right?
Yeah. I
really should be saying it to God.
Real talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Surrender, giving that up of yourself. You know something funny? I haven't done this in years. And for the record, I've never had a drink in my life, but I was at a bar last night because there was a UFC fight, and one of my friends used to work at Evie's downtown.
Okay.
He used to work in the kitchen, so we got like a bunch of free food and stuff, and we got access to like a private room. But I was in this bar, and I did not belong there. It was so weird. Like, I walk in, and I was like, whoa, what the heck? I mean, it was packed. Everybody's my age. You know, there's a guy at the door, asked for my ID. I give him my ID, and he was kind of like, all right, you good? And I'm looking around. I'm just seeing, like, what the heck? Like, this is so alien to me. Somebody who is in church groups, who goes to Bible studies, and here I am in a bar, and I'm seeing all these people drinking, like, vodka
You see
seltzers.
a contrast between him and me?
But I'm like, what in the world? And immediately I was like, oh, I do not belong here. And I was sitting here watching this fight on the TV, and I'm kind of like, I tap a lot, and I'm bouncing my knee, and I'm watching this fight because this is like a really intense fight. So I'm like nervous, and I'm getting into it. And this guy next to me, he's drunk guy, goes, hey, stop, chill out, stop doing all that. And I'm like, oh my God, am I going to get in a fight? And I was just like, chill out, it's okay. But all that to say, I'm looking at this completely alien world of people my age that are lost, taking it physically, drinking, taking in poison, and like living in this debauchery. And I'm hearing people screaming, yelling. I mean, I'm sober, walking through the crowd. People are stumbling. I'm trying to like put my hand on people. Hey, excuse me, let me get around. I'm just like, people really do this? Because again, I'm so isolated in my bubble. I go to a bar and I'm like, this is so. People really do this? And I'm like, wow, yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
That's crazy.
They're not going to hell because of it.
And they're not going to hell because of it. No.
They may not have a good 401k down the road. Okay.
Right.
They may not be able to buy a mattress whenever they want to.
Sure. Yes.
I mean, it's expensive to go out and do that.
Oh, I know.
But it's what the world, and that we were going to get to that in a little bit, the difference between the world's way of thinking and a godly way of thinking. Mm-hmm. For me, I think I might have shared this last week or the week before, it's got these reels, and I'm caught on this one reel of people confronting policemen when they come in and not giving their ID, not wanting to give their name.
Right.
You know, and it never works out well for usually anybody.
You're talking about like the sovereign citizens?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
But there's people now going on sidewalks and just like taking pictures. I'm going to call the police if you don't quit taking pictures. Call the police. And so then the police come and it's just on and on. And then the next thing you know, I'm angry, and I'm saying angry things, and I got this anger where I'm like, where did that come from?
You've been rage baited.
I might be married to the happiest, joyful person in the world. Yeah. And anybody listening that knows Joyce knows that that's a true story.
Oh yeah.
And so here I am, got this bitter angerness, and so it's the same thing. It's what you're being around. Mm-hmm. What is the source, and what's behind your words?
Yeah.
You know, and in my case, there were words of anger, words of death, and so you're going to be putting out words of anger and words of death.
Yep.
But if you're going into places where there's life and there's freedom, and I'm not saying you have to go to a church you cannot, right? There's people,
right?
There's people that are just good people,
right? Yeah.
I don't know who they are because none of my friends are, but no, sorry, friends. Mm-hmm. But there's just good people.
Yeah.
But the difference between worldly wisdom and godly wisdom is worldly is selfish, ambition, pride, and disorder. Mm-hmm. So that's the words you're getting. Hey, man, you deserve this. Hey, man, you need to push for that thing. Mm-hmm. Hey, if you can get that guy caught, and you'll get his job.
Yep.
You know, that's dog eat dog. Mm-hmm. But the godly is peace, humility, gentleness, and mercy. And so when we have those things, we believe that God's going to get the work done. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever. So
no, that's good. Well, I mean, that's selflessness, a part of giving up. I mean, this has been a big issue for me, especially the past couple of months, is surrendering my pride. You know, because a lot of these these words that we defer to immediately are self-serving. You know, they bolster our ego and our image to other people. Like, look how tough I am, or look at what I can do, or I'm going to get this promotion like you're saying, or whatever, because it's my ego. It's self-serving. And it's death to self. Like Christ calls us to, die to ourselves. What does that mean? Well, it's the behaviors that lead to death need to be stopped.
Stop, like you said, no internet.
Yeah.
No reels, and you can sit there for hours.
Oh my God. That will be the one hill I die on, is the social media has destroyed our society. You've heard me say it before. I'll say it again. Yeah. You can lose all of your hours, your time. You get, like what you were talking about. There's a term for that. It's called rage bait. You got rage baited.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to write that down.
They're fishing because the human brain is wired to, feel angry quicker than all other emotions.
Yeah.
Anger and rage, again, it's a neurological way to serve ourselves and to protect ourselves. Is if I get angry, I can fight against the bad thing to protect myself.
Or it's almost like I wish I could do that. I wish I could stand up to somebody like that. And then you're like, why would you? All I know is they have a gun and a billy club, and they're allowed to use both of them if they feel necessary.
Right.
And they have, used the billy club on me once or twice before.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think they have them anymore.
No.
Rage bait, huh?
Yeah, well, because again, it's like your brain is wired, literally, physically, the neural pathways to anger are shorter than to like joy and stuff. Because, and your social media feed understands that and targets that to intentionally get these quicker responses out of you because it's more pleasing to the brain to just feel angry all the time. That's why all of your news is terrible.
Are you trying to get me to repent on our podcasts?
I'm just saying. I'm sorry for watching Instagram Reels. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, Mr. Psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me.
Stroke your, get your pipe
My
out.
pipe, right. Yes, of course.
This other reel I watched is breaking up beaver dams. What does that have to do with anything?
Did it make you mad?
No, it made me like, wow, that's awesome. How the beavers make a dam.
That's just cool. I don't know. That's just cool.
So, but that's what justifies me. And then you get back to, 20 more rage bait. Oh,
right.
I love it. I love it. But you want to know why you're angry and you're getting up and they're like.
Well, people are, I know there's people on Instagram specifically that are capitalizing on this, and they are speaking words of death into the public. There's this married couple.
And I'm listening to them.
Exactly. Well, there are people I'm going to just say it. There are people that the enemy is using there's this one married couple in particular that are putting up an act on their social media, literally just lying, they're playing these roles where the husband will do something that makes the wife angry and she will record it. Stuff like, I caught him cheating on me on Tinder, but he has no idea that I'm the girl on Tinder, or like he won't get me this thing that I ask, and look at his body posture, and like, I'm spying on my husband and I'm recording him doing all these things that make me mad. And you go in the comments and there's people like, you just need to divorce him. He's such a toxic man. You need to da-da-da-da. And it's playing off of people's rage. It's bait to get them to rage, to watch more, to make them more money.
And they make money off
They make thousands of dollars a month doing these fake videos where they bait people into feel angry so they continue to watch. And I believe that's the enemy infiltrating our culture.
So all you people my age, you feel like stupid right now?
Well, it's on
and you
Fox
know
News.
When you're watching it, though.
It's CNN, it's Fox News, it's wherever you're getting your media. It's all in there. It's again, the eyes are the lamp of the body. What are you taking in, man? Because it'll come right back out.
Which kind of bounces right into our next segment, where what are 3 red flags in your speech? Warning signs. Constant conflict. So if you're living it while you're watching these reels, and then you're going out into real life, and what's the freshest thing on the front of your mind?
Yeah.
Arguing with a cop.
Hating people. Yep. Arguing, debating. My opinion's right. Your opinion's wrong. You're deferring to anger first.
And so, I got to itch my nose. So, when we think of a Christian podcast, we don't think of this one, but
Christian podcasts.
When you think of a Christian podcast, we're really there for words of life, and we think that we're going to get those. So does that mean that I can't watch anything but Christian stuff?
That's a good question. Well, to that, I was listening to another Christian video from this 2819 church, and there are some people that believe like you cannot listen to any secular music. You cannot listen to any, you can't read any, but then again, it's like, where do you draw the line? Can you not read any secular books? Can you not watch any secular news? Can you not, it's like, what is the line? Because it's the idea of like being in the world, but not of the world. Right. And so me personally, and this is, I believe something, actually, you know what? This is my personal opinion on that matter.
Okay.
It's up to you. I think that the verse in 1 Corinthians where Paul is talking about, eating the sacrificial meat from the temple, this was something that pagans in this, evil pagan religion would do. They would take part in this, ceremonial feast.
Okay.
And so now they're Christians. They're no longer pagans. And so some of them are like, so yeah, now it's just meat. It doesn't, these pagan religions are stupid. I'm going to just eat this because whatever. But for some other people that were newer to the faith or for whatever reason, they felt the temptation to go back to that old pagan religion by eating this sacrificial meat. And so what Paul said is, if you taking part of eating this food is causing somebody else to stumble and fall, don't do it. It is sin for you.
Okay.
But if you can eat that meat and you have a strong enough jurisdiction in your heart and you don't have a conviction that what you're doing is wrong, and if you're not causing other people to stumble, it is not sin. And so people can take this as like a clause to just kind of do anything. Well, it's not sin for me, so you got to be careful with this. But when it comes to something like secular music, I don't want to sit here and go, this is the truth.
Right.
This is the truth on secular music. I have Van Halen t-shirts in my closet. I have Billy Idol t-shirts in my closet. I like rock and roll music. I just like it. I went and saw Billy Idol live. It was a lot of fun. Some people can't do that.
Right.
Okay. That's up to you. I would go to the Lord with that. Yeah. Don't come to me with that.
What is that? Not everything is profitable.
Mm-hmm.
What's that verse where it says?
Not everything is. All things are permissible.
Right.
But not everything is beneficial.
Yeah. So I'm allowed to watch that. There's nothing wrong with watching that.
Yeah.
Is there
whatever.
Is there a benefit to me? No.
Absolutely not.
So maybe I should quit doing that.
You should probably stop doing that.
Yeah. So, but if you line that up with, like you said, it's like, okay, it's really not, we went to a Grand Funk reunion concert whatever, a couple of years ago, and it was great. It was fun.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I'm like, okay, I don't need to do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was good.
Yeah.
But I just, wasn't. Yeah. And so I think as you change, your spirit changes, and you're not. And there's times when I'm driving to work or wherever, and I've got the 70s channel on and listen to real rock and roll,
right,
pounding away, and I'm like happy as a lark. Mm-hmm. And then there's a day like I can't
worship.
do it. I can't do it. Let's put on worship music.
Same here.
And there's other days I put on worship music. I'm like, you got to stop. You got to stop. Just you've got to find another channel.
It's the same.
I can listen to NPR more than this right now.
Yeah, it's Chris Tomlin again. I don't want to listen to Taya yell at me.
So
again.
Sarcasm means the tearing of flesh, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you learn that?
Sarcasm means making peace stuff. So sarcasm, we think it's funny.
Yeah.
But then you're really tearing someone's flesh. Oh. It's really poison. Oh. And I don't know how to talk without having sarcasm.
Well, that's all you do.
I know.
That's who you are.
I know.
It doesn't have to be, though.
No.
Sarcasm, self-deprecating humor. Yeah, well, that's like, I was telling him earlier, there's a couple of, it's always coworkers. There's a couple of coworkers where it's like, either they've never had anybody like fight back, or they never had older brothers or something, but they're just with no discretion. They're just insult, demeaning speech. And I was just thinking, two other people.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say like, hey, I want to buy this new vehicle. And everybody's like, that looks gay. I'm like, I guess I'll just leave. Like, why are we, I thought we were cool. Like what? And then I'm thinking to myself, what would happen if like it was doled right back at them. Because it's like the words of life,
Right.
whatever they're speaking into other people, that's all they hear from them. Somebody's going to be mad right back at them.
Yeah.
Whatever again, like words have power, whatever word you're speaking into other people, sarcasm, gossip, harsh speech, they're not going to look at you as a joyous, happy person. They're going to say like, oh, he always insults me. I don't really want to hang out with him.
I have this one friend that he's like a great guy. He's a godly man, but he always, and he's a couple years older. I mean, he has done some great things for me in my life.
Yeah.
But a couple years back, before I moved here, he's always got this sarcastic remark about me. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm kidding. But he,
Yeah.
and he's, anyway, I don't want to say anything, but it was like, I don't want to be around you because I know you're going to have some kind of smart ass thing about me.
Right.
And I'm really vulnerable right now.
Oh my God. All men want to be known and appreciated.
Yeah.
Deep down, every man just
Respected.
wants respect, and they want confirmation. They want people to like them, right?
Yeah.
And so, but what's really funny is all men do when they communicate is they just demean one another with sarcastic comments. It's so funny that we all do that to each other.
Gosh. I tell people, they say, well, what was the fire station like? I said, well, have a bunch of 13-year-old boys in a 45-year-old body and mind. I mean, it got thing. Hey, so those were the warning signs: constant conflict, sarcasm, gossip, harsh tones, and then always needing to be right. I mean, we all know somebody like that. They always need wrong. I don't feel like you do that. You listen. Right. So the verse on that was James 3:17. Wisdom from above is pure. And he talked in the message, there's wisdom from above and wisdom from below.
Ooh.
And if you don't know the difference, you got a big problem. Mm-hmm. Because you're saying, wait a minute, this is of the Lord. And knowing your Bible and things, this lines up with Scripture.
Is it pure and peace loving?
Yeah.
Then that's wisdom from above. Straight
Just
up.
because I have something to say does not mean I need to say it.
Yes. Oh, yes. I remember my great-grandfather, well, I never really knew him. I was one when he died, but my dad would always tell me, Great-grandpa Will would always say, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. And so I was awful quiet that night at dinner. That's what I'll say. I didn't say a whole lot that night. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of like, hold your tongue.
So the tongue reveals the heart. Don't just manage your mouth. Let God transform your heart. And so I would always say, how does that happen?
Yeah.
How do you change your heart?
It's a process. Unfortunately, it doesn't just happen like that. The first step is becoming aware of what needs to, where you're at, what needs to change.
When your Christian friends say you swear a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
Or like I was at work and one of my friends just stopped me in the middle of what I was saying. He just goes, you complain a lot. I was like, God, you're right.
Shut up. I wish you'd quit saying it. By the way, did you see the cafeteria?
Yeah, right. But I was like, yeah, you got me there. Because sometimes it gets to a point where it's so extreme that other people start just like, all right, you're being really, really like negative right now. And you go, me? No.
Isn't that funny though? Those true words, just a couple words, put you on defense. You're like, wow. It doesn't have to be a message.
No.
Dear Will.
Yes. It's literally stopped me in my tracks. I was in the middle of a sentence. He goes, you complain a lot, and I shut up. I was like, God, you're right.
Words of life are powerful.
They can be. And sometimes they hit like a freight train.
Yeah.
So focus on the couple of things that is what you're doing peace-loving and life-giving. If it's not, it needs to be given to God, and He will do with it what He will.
One of the things that I learned years back was I have this cold heart. And, I've got a lot of anger in there. I've got a lot of sarcasm in there. I've got a lot of... I'm not mean. I've never been mean.
Okay.
I've been like... Well, maybe I am.
I was going to say, waiting for you to say, yes, you have.
But anyway, yeah, I'm a liar. No. But I was like, God, how do I change my heart then? Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, what you have to do is you have to add Scripture in there. And that's when I started memorizing Scripture.
Yeah.
And so I want Romans 6 in my heart. I want Romans 8 in my heart. I want the love chapter in my heart. And that's when it all started. Once I memorized 1 Corinthians 13.
13, yep.
It
cool.
It's in there. And so then everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
So once you go over the 3 takeaways.
Yeah. You know how much I love your ChatGPT notes, so I'm going to look at this with a grain of salt. The 3 takeaways, where is that? See, I don't like these things.
It's right at the end.
Oh, whatever. Pause before you speak. Am I building or am I burning? That's like what I was saying a couple minutes ago. It's like, become aware of what you're saying. If you feel like this isn't life-giving, maybe you should take a minute and go, like, pause. Well, that's like, it's a super simple reminder, but I love it. The WWJD bracelet.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, whenever somebody's asking a question to me of like, should I do this? I don't know. Because it's like, it doesn't feel wrong, but I just go, well, what do you think Jesus would do? And he go, well, he probably wouldn't do it. I'm like, there's your answer.
There you go.
Then don't do it.
Kind of really simple.
If you think, would Jesus do this? Probably not. Then go, all right, then don't do it. That's it. I mean, it really, honest to God, like, stop before you say whatever it is, or do whatever you're going to do, and go, would Jesus do this? If it's no, then don't do it.
All the way home today from the nursing center, and again, it's a nightmare over there for him. And,
Yeah.
and my wife and I are not on the same page in a lot of things with that. Well, no, wait a minute. I should say we're on the same page with most.
Nice.
But I was kind of disagreeing with what her idea was, and I'm like, I want to lecture her. But my spirit's saying, don't say anything. Shut up.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, but shut up.
I'll do it.
She's in a crisis right now.
Yeah.
Her dad is on his final, he's standing on 2 banana peels, okay? If he could stand. He's in a bad place.
Yes.
What you don't need right now, someone does not need criticism or my opinion. Because my opinion, I'm guessing anyway.
Right.
I've never dealt with this before.
Good point.
And so it's just keep your mouth shut and just walk with her. Walk through this. And so it's, pause before you speak. And we end up getting home. We didn't talk the whole way back. I mean, but when we got home, we're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. But it's the pause that, because you just don't want to do damage to the relationship.
Right.
He's old, and that's just a fact.
Yeah.
But do you want to ruin
Yeah.
your relationships? Do you need to
Sure.
be chopping people's arms off?
Right. You got a good thing. Don't ruin that. Pray for a pure heart. Ask God, deepen my relationship with you. Reveal things in me that are not of you. That's sanctification. Every single day we grow closer to the person of Jesus Christ, and we'll get there one day when we're resurrected in the body and given new spiritual bodies when, Jesus returns and all that. But every day we get a little bit closer. We, if we continue to walk with God, that is, if we don't fall away, God will continue to work in you. You just have to be willing to let it happen. Sometimes it hurts. Pruning hurts sometimes, but you have to have a willing heart and a readiness, and you have to ask for it a lot of times.
Right.
Because you can just sit, proverbially sit still and not move anywhere, and God's like, I'm waiting for you to move so I can move in you. Like you gotta step into the Jordan River first before I part it.
Right.
Like it says there in
I'm having this thought
Joshua. Yeah.
that, and I think a lot of you are probably thinking the exact same thing, is that I really don't need somebody coming in and ripping me a new one.
Right.
I'm doing a perfectly good job at ripping myself up one side and down the other. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever done that?
I'm in therapy for it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty dang good at it. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So why would you need more? Why would I need to pile on it? Yes. I mean, there's people that have pride. God will take care of that. You don't need to worry about that. But why do I think they need me to pile on what they're feeling? Oh, yeah, you're right. You are a jerk. Oh, yeah, when you said this, it really blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and
don't
it's
do
like,
that.
right?
Yeah. Well, because for me, it was shame.
Yeah.
It was how negatively people were going to look at me. Not if they were. It's what level of negativity are they going to inevitably look at me with? Because that's how I thought.
So me as a friend doesn't say, hey, well, you got to quit doing that. You're really
right.
just honoring God,
Right.
and how He made you to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, those are words of life.
Oh, geez, that's certainly helpful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Screw off. Yeah. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
to you. I want to shoot you with a shotgun. That's right.
And then the last one's pursue wisdom. Get in the
wisdom.
Word. Surround yourself with wise men. You
And
know,
women.
I mean, there's people. There's small groups.
Yeah.
And you're not committed for life. You just find people that you've got a new set of friends.
Yeah.
That you're hanging around with.
Yeah.
All these people are pursuing God.
You know what's crazy? This is the happiest I've been with my friends because they're godly people. I've had plenty of friend groups that I could not stand. Previous friend groups was like, I hate these. I hate being around these people. I feel nothing but awful about myself every time I'm around them. They don't want me around. They're always calling me names. Why do I keep? Well, they're my only friends, and and then I found these other friends. I'm like, oh, this is like what healthy friendships look like. Wow.
Joyce and I talked about it. We have some friends that she doesn't have any friends here, and Joyce had talked about it years ago when she first became a Christian. She's like, God, could you give me a friend? And then God provides.
Yeah.
You got to pray for that.
Yeah.
Why don't you wrap this up?
Pray and remain in your word and ask and you shall receive. Solomon prayed for wisdom and it was given to him. I mean, this is a thing that this doesn't change overnight is how you speak and how you pour out words, but you can begin to change things in your life, what you take in, because the more and more that you take in the sayings and the behaviors of Jesus, the more you will find yourself naturally steering more in that direction. And I would say, with how you speak, pause, with how you think about it again, with how you behave, make sure you're, again, wear a WWJD bracelet if you need to. But I think it really all comes down to, with this topic of like the power of your words and with what you do and walking with wisdom, is just like, what would Jesus do in this situation? If you ask yourself that, I feel like you'll find your answer.
My final word would be, do you want to be known as a person of life or a person of death? Are your words, when you go into a room, people are like, oh man, here comes Will. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Or you want people coming, oh, there comes Meekins. Let's get out of here.
Right.
He's such a, I just can't deal with that negativity.
Yeah.
And so the choice is yours.
Yeah.
Then you have to ask God, say, God, can you give me words of life? I really want to be that person. I just don't know how.
Right.
Well, we've done it again.
We've solved another one of life's problems.
See you next week.
Peace.